Hey guys, Panzer J back here in Operation 8th Air Force. This is turn 3.2 and 3.3 for the CCP and the Soviet Union. So let's get into the CCP portion of the turn. They ended last turn, I think I forgot to mention, they ended it with $2, but then they got international aid from the Soviet Union for 2, so they got 4 total. So they're going to use the 2 from the international aid from the Soviet Union to upgrade a militia to an infantry, and they're going to spend $1 of their own money to try and influence. We're going to go for Singhai again. And one other piece of housekeeping, I forgot Mongolia recruitment roll last turn, so I'll get 2 rolls at that, so hopefully I won't forget. Okay, so no combat for the CCP. So let's go ahead first with trying to influence Singhai. So we need a 2 or less. It's about as far as we can get. Then we need a 1 for a recruitment roll. Oh boy, the CCP is doomed, I think, for this game. Nothing's going their way. Okay, so we're going to replace the 1 militia with an infantry, and that will be it for the CCP. So they finished with $1. They're collecting 2, so they'll have 3 for next turn. Quick unit recap. In Shenxi, they have 2 infantry, 2 mountain infantry, and 1 cavalry. Okay, on to the Soviet Union. They have $10 to spend. They're going to spend 5 of it. We're going to go ahead and upgrade 2 infantry to motorized for 2, and then we're going to lend-lease Spain a cavalry. So we do have a proposition, not necessarily a proposition, but a request for aid from the Allies. So I think it's in the Allies' interest that Spain continues to be fought over. So in order to ensure that that happens, the Spanish are requesting a 2 IPP militia upgrade from the Allies this turn. So, and to show that the Soviet Union is doing their part, they're going to lend-lease that cavalry for 3. So as much as I don't want to spend Soviet Union money in Spain, again, I think it's in the Allies' best interest if that continues to be fought over. So a request is going out to the Allies to maybe send that 2 IPP militia upgrade. Okay, on to tech rolls. We've got a single tech roll. We're going to go for improved factories at a 7 or higher. So let's go ahead with that. 10 does succeed, so at least the high numbers continue. So we move improved factories up to stage 2. Okay, combat, we don't have any, so it's all non-combat. So while we're here in Spain, let's go ahead with Spain first. We're going to move this cruiser out of port here in M1 and come down 1-2 to A44. The destroyer and the coastal sub from M2 are going to come over to A44 and join the cruiser. Let's see, these 4 infantry in Basque Country are going to move over to Madrid. I think that medium bomber... I guess the medium bomber will move into Madrid as well. And that's it in Spain. How about some Soviet Union ships? We got a coastal sub here in M7. It's going to come down 1 to M4. We got this cruiser, which is a heavy cruiser, and a destroyer here in A28. 1, 2, 3 to A4. We got some ships over here. I think one of these ships can take the Arctic Passage. So we're going to take the torpedo boat destroyer, and it makes its way over to A9, I believe. Let's see. Rail moves. We're going to rail one of these infantry in Turkmenistan to Arel Kursk. And we're going to rail one of these infantry in southern Ukraine to Kola. Those are our 2 rail moves. We're going to have 1 infantry here in Karelia move up to Kola. We're going to have the 1 infantry in Western Russia move up to Karelia. The light armor in Karelia up 1 to Kola. The light armor in Western Russia 1-2 up to Kola. We're going to have the infantry in Smolensk back up 1 to Relkursk. We're going to have this infantry and cavalry in North Caucasia come down 1 to Transcaucasia. We're going to have the cavalry in Stalingrad 1-2 to North Caucasia. And I think that's everything. Yeah, no other non-combat moves. Okay, so how about for unit placement? So we've got the Lend-Lease cavalry. So it can make its way from, let's say, the factory in Relkursk down to the minor factory in Kiev, through Crimea, make its way through all the way over here to Catalonia. Let's see, what else? We got our 2 infantry upgrades. So they're both here in Relkursk. So take off those 2 infantry, put down 2 more motorized infantry. And that should be everything. Okay, so for income, we saved 5. And we're sitting at 10, so that's 15 that we should have for next turn. Unit recap just with territories that changed. We've got a single infantry now in Turkmenistan. Transcaucasia has 2 cavalry and 3 infantry. There's a cavalry in the North Caucasus. There's 2 infantry in southern Ukraine. Relkursk is now up to 9 motorized infantry. Karelia is 5 infantry. Kola is 2 infantry and 2 light armor. We got our torpedo boat destroyer in A9. We got a heavy cruiser and a destroyer in A4. So that should be it. Okay, so now on to recruitment roles. So we've got 1 in Spain and 2 for Mongolia. So the 1 in Spain, we're sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 territories. So we need a 7 or less here. For recruitment, 3 does succeed. Okay, so I wasn't prepared. So we're gonna put down 2 militia, but I'll put them down here in a second. Mongolia, we got a 4 or less twice. A 9 misses, and our second Mongolian roll, a 2 does succeed. Okay, so for Mongolia, we'll put an infantry in central Mongolia and 2 militia for Spain. We'll put 1 in Basque Country and 1 in Madrid. Okay, so now unit recap in Spain. In Madrid's going to be 4 infantry, a medium bomber, and a militia. There's a militia in eastern Andalusia, a militia in Basque Country, and a cavalry in Catalonia. We've got the cruiser, destroyer, and coastal sub in A44. And then for Mongolia, we're going to have the militia in Krulin, and we're going to have an infantry and a cavalry in central Mongolia. Okay, so again, we're sending out a request to the Allies for a 2 IPP militia upgrade. And hopefully they respond favorably to that. And we're turning things over now to Global War 36 enthusiast and Japan.